A beautiful way to really get in resonance with your heart, slow, long exhales. You do have magical powers when you're a god or goddess. So how can you harness them? What's transhumanism? You've probably heard about people putting artificial things within their body, starting to get AI and tech so that they can be the better version of themselves. What they plan to do is welcome wisdom keepers, soul tribe and new earth leaders to Soul Temple, your haven for self-discovery and growth. I'm Blythe Langford and I am your guide to finding yourself and your true purpose. Together, let's shift from feeling stuck and misaligned to living a life of purpose and prosperity. I want to break down your DNA because this to me is so fascinating. There is somebody who I am absolutely obsessed with at the moment. I think he is just a revolutionary thought leader and he has just not changed my mind, but allowed me to see the depth of our humanness. I'm obsessed with your life, your body, all of the things. And so is this scientist named Greg Braden, who has decoded every single human being's DNA. Think about this for a second. If you were an artiste, a beautiful painter, what would you do when you finished your painting? You're going to put your signature on it because you are so freaking proud of the artwork, the beauty that you have created, and you want to let people know that this is my creation. It is perfect, whole, complete, and beautiful. I am not religious, but guess what? Our DNA stores a signature from our creator as well. Scientists have decoded our DNA. They've literally unwound all the DNA, and in every single strand of our DNA, they've run it through the 4 ancient languages, which are Hebrew, Arabic, Sanskrit, and a 4th one I can never remember. And every single strand of the DNA in every single human being that they have put it through says the exact same thing. So our creator's signature is in our DNA. Your DNA says God, eternal, within the body. What does that mean? It means that spirit is in your body. Scientists have just discovered that your body is a soul temple. So your body is housing spirit creator, right? Don't you think that's just the most fascinating thing ever? This has blown my mind. What has also blown my mind is our chromosomes, right? So they've actually looked through all of our chromosomes. And so our second chromosome, it has been infiltrated. By who? Our second chromosome has a link that is of divinity. Every other animal on this planet has normal chromosomes, and we've got all of these same normal chromosomes except for chromosome number 2. Our chromosome number 2 has been infiltrated by an external source that is not on this planet at this moment in time. And this happened 200,000 years ago and was upgraded, right? Do you not think that's the coolest thing ever? I'm like, oh my God, you seriously, like, God put a little thing in my DNA and made me a little bit more awesome? Oh my gosh, thank you. Amazing. Do you know what's also really interesting? The guy that found this out actually had rabbis say to him, why have you let the general public know about this? This is our secret. We've been keeping this secret since forever. He said, well, I'm not a rabbi, so I don't need to keep it secret. And now this information is being shared across the world. And that's why I'm so lit up to share this one with you. This is like, whoa, you're a little god or goddess, and you just need to know how to use your godly divinity powers. Oh my gosh, I created the method called the divinity method. Did I know this in advance? Maybe. I don't know. It's pretty cool. But the whole point of this is so that you can know your divinity. If you knew that you were God encapsulated in a body, like, what magical powers would you have? You do have magical powers when you're a god or goddess. So how can you harness them? I'm glad you asked that question. Because, you see, we're on Earth here. There's no mistake in that. The Earth is our source of energy, right? We get everything from the Earth. We get our energy from the sun. We get our food from the Earth. We get our water from the Earth. Everything is perfect here on earth when it's in its pure and natural state. So this is another reason why I'm absolutely obsessed so much with the human body, with our soul temple, right? Because the earth, when we know how to use it to our full advantage, then we can tap into our divinity. We can tap into our godly innate being, our godly innate qualities, and learn how to affect ourselves positively and affect humanity positively and the earth positively. So everything that you need to do to tune into your godly resonance is to have nature in its purest state. Now, a lot of people ask me how I am so connected with nature. And pretty much I think it's very simple, because I eat plants, just plants, like nothing else. No rotting flesh, nothing that's dead. Everything is alive and vibrating life force. I know that everything that I put in my body is only going to be maximum a few weeks old. Like fruit, sometimes it'll be a few weeks old, but it's still alive and living. It is the baby of a plant that has its roots rooted into the earth that stands in the sunshine all day. So I am getting these divinity codes from our planet. And so it is so easy. It's easy. It's not convenient. It's so easy for us to tune into our godly state if we really want to. So easy. And people be like, Blythe, I travel all the time. I go over here. I go over there. I don't know how I can do any of these things. Sweetheart, I did the same. I used to travel all the time until I moved to heaven and I never felt like moving again. You just look up an organic shop, get the things that you want ready to go as soon as you get there. Or you go and order an air tasker in another country to go and pick you up organic produce from the farmers markets that's on at that town, so they'll be there when you arrive. You do whatever you need. Like, you know, we're leaders. We figure shit out. Like, don't make it harder than it needs to be. You figured out how all the shit you got yourself into. Now it's so simple to figure out how to get yourself out of it. It's literally just getting plants, getting in nature as much as possible as well. So whether you're getting the plants in you or whether you're in nature each and every day, that will literally allow your godly state to be more present and in its fullness each and every day. The other thing that's so important to realize is that we are programming ourselves each and every day, either positively or to our detriment. Learning how to program yourself in a way that's going to be so effective can really, really help. Some people would be considering it prayer. Some people would be considering it manifestation, journaling, whatever you want to do, whether it's in your mind, whether it's on paper, either way. Remember, if we're on that synthetic masculine and feminine energy of lack and scarcity and shame and those kind of things, then that's the field that we're playing in. But if we're using our divinity within us, its full potential, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, then we're in a different field of energy. And when we're in this field of energy, we're in grace, we're in gratitude, we're in abundance, we're in sensuality, we're in divinity, we're in love and all of these beautiful, yummy, nurturing, whole, completely different field. So I would like you to, when you want to create something, create it from a space as if it already exists, because time is not linear. Scientists have already proven this as well. They've finally caught up with the spiritual woo-woo people that time is not linear. What you want already exists. And to collapse the time difference between what you have now and what you actually want comes from a state of stepping into the field of divine masculine and feminine energy, stepping into the field of grace and gratitude and the belief that you have it now. Because we are divine creatures, our thoughts are creating this reality. So whether you have something physically, whether you see somebody else have the thing that you want, or whether you think about it in your mind, there is parts of your brain and your being that can't tell the difference between that, right? So think about that for a second. We can use that as magic. If we know that whether we have the thing now or whether we think about it, our mind believes that we have it, then we can use that as a tool for manifesting the things that we really want. So that we do that with thinking about the things that we want, journaling about the things that we want, but from a place of we've already got it. So when we are doing a prayer or doing a manifestation, the best thing that you can actually say is whatever the thing is. Let's say I want, I don't know, a 50-foot fern. I'm just looking at a fern. So let's say you're like, thank you so much for giving me this 50-foot fern. I absolutely love it. It is so beautiful. I'm in love with it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know this is already mine and I'm open to it showing up in any way, shape, or form. That is the perfect manifestation tool. Now, I was actually told that literally that thing that I just said is what is the missing piece that's been taken out of the Bible. That was the manifestation tool that was actually in the Bible for humanity to use, and it's been taken out so that none of us know how to manifest anymore. So I'm going to say it again. Write it down. The thing that you want is what you say first, and you're like, okay, I want... And you feel it like gratitude for it. I'm so grateful for the 50-foot fern that I have in my home. It's so beautiful. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know this is the next bits to write down. And I know this is already mine. And I'm open to it showing up in any way, shape, or form. So that's what I was told was taken out of the Bible. So use that as your manifestation tool, because that is actually what is supposed to be there for us to use, because we are creator beings, because we are pure spirit, God, energy, source, Buddha, Allah, whatever you believe in is within the soul temple, right? So that is your manifestation tool. That's the only thing you really need to be doing each and every day to create the life and the dreams and everything that it is that you want. And that is what has been kept from us, obviously. Besides the fact that, 200,000 years ago, what does that mean? It means that a whole lot of things didn't happen. There was no evolution. There was none of those things. We were literally just a chromosome, from a fallen angel that came down to Earth to tune in and upgrade our whole entire race. Thank you. Awesome. Great. Now let's tune into that. So and see, this is the thing, like a lot of people are all about the angels and all of these beings and da-da-da-da. Dude, you're already God. You don't need to tune into get your power from elsewhere. You just need to learn how to get it from within. Sure, I'm totally about connecting with angels and light beings and aliens and all of those things. But you're that thing. So tune into you first. Don't put your power outside of yourself, because if you're constantly putting your power outside of yourself, you're dulling your divinity. You're dulling your God essence. You're never going to come into your full capacity and potential. And there is a rule book. There is an absolute rule book to use your divinity. And that's why I created the divinity method. The most simple point that I can create is being absolutely rebellious about your health, because using nature is the key to unlock the God codes within you. This amazing place, HeartMap in the USA, where they have done all of these beautiful, amazing, next level experiments with the heart energy to see the capacity and the abilities of our heart, of our human heart. And they've actually found that the human heart resonates at a speed that is greater than light. So when they split an atom, they tested each part of the atom to see how far, when something happened to one part of the atom, how long it would take for the other part to actually find out. And what they found out is it happens simultaneously. There isn't even a speed that it transcends the energy to. As soon as something is split, it just has a knowing. It just knows, because we are never separate. We are totally connected. Now, I want to share as well, when in the 60s, I think they were first doing the first human heart transplants. I'm sure you've heard this before as well. When the heart is transplanted into another person's body, it also doesn't contain the memories, but it holds the memories. So, for example, there was a little girl that had a heart that was transplanted into her, and she started to have these nightmares about the man that had murdered the owner of the heart, the original heart. And they took her to the police, and they did the sketches and all of the things, and actually found the man who had committed the murder of the little girl, because the human heart kept that memory. Now, our heart, it has divine intelligence. It has its own consciousness. So not only will it hold and remember, but it also has the ability to share great gifts and messages across the world, like it did with that little girl's heart and contained that memory. Also, there was another incident of a mother whose son was in a war. It was a recent one. I think it was in Afghanistan, an American mother. And she had an awareness that her son was in danger. So she rang Afghanistan to the person in control and said, you know, where are the troops? Said, look, they're out on patrol. They're absolutely fine. She's like, my son is not okay. And they're like, he's absolutely fine. She said, no, my son is not okay. I need you to go and find him. And he'd actually stepped on one of those like little bomb things and their whole platoon like were not okay. So they were able to bring troops in and help them, get them out of there. And that was from a mother in another continent because she had that connection with her son. And I know that so many mothers out there have that same connection. I know that I've had it with partners, lovers, my family as well. We're all so connected, but we're just not educated on how to use our heart and the power of our beautiful heart as well. So a beautiful way, which I've spoken about before, to really get in resonance with your heart, slow, long exhales. Pop your hand over your heart. Take a moment just to calm down and then allow yourself to bring in an energy that you want to bring in, like a happy or a joyful or a grateful or a grace, abundant energy that you want to bring in, and just to tune into that and just allow that to come in and flush through your whole system, your whole body and your being. And that actually just changes the resonance of your entire physiology and allows your body to come into a frequency that is back into your heart and out of your head, and allows your vibration and your frequency to be receptive to this divinity resonance that is external as well as internal. So it just changes your vibe that you're on and puts you on a greater frequency to be able to receive all the things that you want whilst healing your body as well. Now, the reason I really wanted to share this is because I'm so passionate about us remaining our humanness. If you're in a place of pain and burdens and heartache, I just want to honor you because you're doing the work. You're doing the work. You are getting there. You're getting through it. And not that there's anything to get through. There's just parts of yourself that you're yet to integrate. And then they become initiations and you realize why you're really here. They are just stepping stones. The heartaches and all of the hardships are stepping stones to the life that you're actually going to be in complete gratitude and joy and love and care over. Your humanness is so beautiful when you know how to tune into, and when you start to fall in love with yourself, in love with your life, then everything will start to change. And then that's when you can start to resonate and try these things that I'm sharing with you. You know, really try to get into the frequency, change your way of drawing and calling things in, your manifestation powers, your prayers, all of these things, doing that throughout the day, it'll start to change your life for the better dramatically, not a little bit, dramatically. So just start to do these things, because if you start to get on this frequency and change your life and then share this with other people, and we're all on this frequency and we're all changing the whole world, then everything starts to change. That is what the Matrix is trying to prevent us from happening. If we realized how amazing it is to be human and how to activate our God codes within us and how to live in divinity, we wouldn't need the Matrix. You know, you wouldn't be choosing things that are going to be harming you, because that would be crazy. Like, if you knew you were God, would you harm God? If you knew that you were God, you'd be treating yourself like freaking God. And that's why society doesn't want you to know any of this about you. That's why rabbis and priests have been hiding this information from you, because if you knew it, you wouldn't need the system. You'd be able to come to my place and get fruit and veg because I got it all here for you. It's perfect, whole and complete. No need to manipulate it. It's great all year round. And then they wouldn't need to bring in the transhumanism in 2030. What's transhumanism? You've probably heard about people putting artificial things within their body so that they can be the better version of themselves, like starting to get AI and tech infiltrated into the body. And a lot of people are really into this because their lives are very hard and they don't experience a lot of joy and pleasure. But that's been designed and orchestrated exactly this way so that when transhumanism comes in 2030, we're already prepped for it. We've already been through COVID, which was the testing ground, like the testing ground and the training ground for what's happening in 2030. Now, not to alarm you in any of this is to empower you and strengthen you so that you can get prepared in a way that is going to support you, and so that this hopefully doesn't even happen, because there's enough of us that know about it that will not accept it. So in 2030, the World Economic Forum and the other plan, I can't remember, what they plan to do is have a chip in every baby's brain. So there is a little bit of space between the skull and the brain, and they want to put a chip in there that's going to be able to pretty much be like a device in the head. So it'll prevent boredom by allowing it to teach and create movies and do all of these kinds of things. It's actually supposed to, what they're going to sell it to us as is it's going to make you better in business. It's going to make you smarter. It's going to help you be more educated. Well, if we have something that's constantly giving us input, we will never develop our imagination. Without an imagination, you will never be able to create anything. Without your creative part of your brain, your whole body goes into atrophy, which means every single organ starts to give up on itself and you start to die. And this is what they've actually found from a lot of kids that have started to be completely dependent on devices, that their organs start to go into die. That's why there is so many mental health issues. That's why there is a lot of Asperger's and autism, because the creative part of our brain isn't stimulated enough, so the other part of our brain is actually taking over, because that is the world that we live in. And we as human beings are not living to our full potential. We're not even existing as humans anymore. And so the government has absolutely designed and orchestrated this beautifully so that in 2030, when this chip idea is feeded to be put through, that people will be just like, yes, please, anything to escape this body and this mind and this life. So that is what I wanted to share a bit about, how amazing you are, to get you prepped for 2030 so that so many of us are alive and vibrating and living the lives that we absolutely love, so that transhumanism is just a joke that we laugh at and just go, you gotta be kidding. Like, for me, looking at my phone is like hard enough. I'm like, I feel it manipulating my brain. And I hope that you get to a point where you're just like, I fucking love myself. I ain't no chip going in my head, and definitely not for the future generations. We want their creativity to thrive. We want them to be the creative beings that they're meant to be, the God eternal within the body. So take some time to tune into your heart regularly and allow your divinity to flow inside your body and discover your humanness and resonate into the world your divinity. I've just realized that this might be a very heated topic for you, and you could be freaking out about this. When I was 14 in my high school, they wanted to put chips in us, and our parents agreed. They've been trying to seed this for a very long time. This is not new information. So if you went to my school, MLC in Burwood, 1998 class, you know that this is actually what happened already. So this is something that we all need to be really aware of, and that we make choices that are actually aligned with the future that we want to leave, the future generations that we want to, how they want to live in this planet. So giving everybody a chance to discover their own humanism rather than being infiltrated and manipulated. So I'd love to know what's resonating for you and what is alive or triggering you. Let me know in the comments below, or reach out. Don't hesitate to book a call. Thank you for joining me on Soul Temple. If this episode spoke to your soul, I would love your support with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And do not forget to subscribe on your favorite platform. But don't let your journey end here. Connect with me and my like-minded community of souls at Blythe Langford on all social platforms. I really look forward to diving deeper with you on your journey.